So would you all, if you haven't already, would you find a comfortable seat? And I appreciate that I can see some of you, and I'm completely fine with anyone that wants their camera off. That's okay too. Um, but just find a seat, whether you're straight on the ground or up on a cushion, could even be a chair. And once you find this seat, wiggle around, move side to side, front to back, and see if you can find the exact middle of your ischial tuberosities. Everybody know what that is? Sitting bones. That's the long name for sits bones. The ischium, the bottom of the pelvis. So see if you can find the center of that bowl of your pelvis. And beneath that is the earth. And just feel that Mother Earth beneath you, pulling you down, gravity pulling you down to be held on the ground that's underneath this floor where you're sitting. If you're comfortable, close your eyes or just bring your awareness in a bit more and start to notice your breath. Wherever your hands are, let your hands in some way touch the earth. So that could be out in front of you, to the sides. Bring fingertips to the earth. And let's just take a moment on this ordinary Monday morning to acknowledge those who stood here before us. So you might even think of, if you're in a house, maybe, I know Julie lives in her childhood home, like the family that lived there before she sat in this seat. Maybe someone owned your home before you did. Who owned this land before you came here? And take a moment to go all the way back to the original inhabitants of the land where you sit. And just pause for a moment in gratitude, maybe even humility and apology. Here we stand or sit on this sacred piece of ground. When you're aware of that, this ground where you sit, bring your hands to your lap, palms turned up, this gesture of being receptive and open to a new moment. Let your belly move with your breath. Let your belly expand as you inhale and draw in as you exhale. Notice your chest lifting as you inhale just slightly and softening as you exhale. Shoulders slightly rising with an in-breath. Shoulder blades hugging onto back with an out-breath. Just notice that gentle movement of your whole torso with these waves of breath. Let your hands come together in this prayer or gesture of gratitude. Maybe your thumbs are touching your sternum. And I'd like you to just think of an offering. If you could offer something to this group of people gathered here, what would that be? Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just send out that offering. Do that again. Deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale, and offering to your friends here. One more time. Breath in. Let your hands settle again onto your legs, and you can keep your eyes closed or open them. We're going to start with a neck stretch. So just draw your left ear to your left shoulder. And bring your right fingertips to the floor on the side of you. Kind of walk your fingertips way out so that right shoulder drops a little bit. And then just kind of roll your chin around. Chin comes to left shoulder, comes up toward the ceiling. The chin's kind of making a diagonal line of some sort, just helping you get into the side of that neck. And then bring your hand back to your lap. Head comes neutral. Pause here. Notice right side and left side. And then draw right ear to right shoulder. Left fingers walk off the edge of the mat. And you can just hold here in stillness, or you can move your chin down and up, exploring this left side of your neck. And allow your hand to come back to your lap. Bring your head to neutral. And now just take a couple more deep breaths. And as you do, I'd like you to notice some pocket of tension in your body, anywhere. Just notice. Bring breath into that space. And as you exhale, see if you can feel it softening just a little. Breathe into the space where you feel some kind of tension or tightness. And breathe out. One more time. Breathe into any tension or tightness. Just find one point. And let the exhale be a slight release. Let's bring ourselves around to a tabletop position and work through a couple of cat and cow. Moving with your breath in your way. Could be sideways, and let's just continue this idea of the inhale, bringing our attention to something that feels a little tight, restricted, tense. And the exhale, releasing that one little pinpoint. Take your knees wider and press your hips back to child's pose. And leave your head off the floor for just a moment. Come up onto all 10 fingertips. Walk your fingertips as far away from you as you can. And then as you exhale, curl your chin into your chest. Find again a place that feels restricted here and bring your breath right there, that one spot. Exhale to find a softening. We'll do that 2 more times. You're welcome to breathe out loud, just sigh. And coming back to that tabletop position, let's plant our hands on the ground. Knees come closer together, tucking the toes, lift into downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here, just moving in your way, wiggling, pedaling, stretching, lengthening. And then start to find a version of down dog that you can hold in stillness. 3 breaths here, finding one point of tightness or tension anywhere in your body and breathe there. The exhale, just creating an unraveling, just a slight little release in that one part of your body. And slowly walking the feet up to meet the hands. Take the feet just a little wider than hips distance apart. And then with fingertips on the ground, just bend and straighten your knees. And straighten is a relative term, so you can just bend and straighten as much as your legs invite. Spine is long, core is engaged to support your spine. And then find about a halfway point and just start to bend one and straighten the other. Feel your pelvis shifting from side to side. You might notice you start to find some inner thigh muscles, maybe the outer hip. Just notice how different that is when it's just one leg bending. Just pulling one shin bone forward and then pulling the other shin bone forward. Pause in the center to find a forward fold that works for you. So your knees can be bent, your hands can be anywhere you like. Find stillness for 3 breaths, right into that point. Where do you feel tension or tightness? Your fingertips on the floor, put that bend back in the knees. Press hands to shins, lengthen into a flat spine. Feet come a little closer together. And core is engaged again. Let's scoop the arms all the way up to extended mountain. And we'll start to move in a lateral motion. So drop one hand to the knee, stretch the other arm up and over. We're going to go back and forth a few times, just warming up the spine sideways. If this creates pain in your spine, maybe you're bringing one hand to a hip. If you feel really comfortable here, you could keep both arms overhead. Just back and forth. Beautiful, everybody. And then we're going to choose one side for 3 full breaths. So go ahead and set yourself up in the version of sideways bend that works best for you. Find a point of tightness and breathe there. The exhale softens. The inhale expands. Return to center, pause for a moment, and then switch sides. Find your version of side bend, not too much, not too little. Make it interesting, and then 3 breaths here. As we come back to center, let's let our hands meet and draw the hands right down in front of the heart. Turning the toes out, take a little wider stance. You can turn sideways if you like, or you can stay squared on your mat. It's totally up to you. But we're just going to now put some bend in the knees. I'm going to come up and down here. And I want you to just explore your knees. So depending on what's happening in your knee joint, maybe it's a shallow little squat. If your knees and hips are feeling happy and ready today, go a little deeper. Come all the way down into this malasana or prayer squat. And I'd like you to find the squat that works best for your body. So it could be up here with elbows resting on the legs, or maybe hands. I like elbows inside the knees so that you can squeeze your knees in on your hands. If your knees are happy today, you're all the way down, and we're here for 3 breaths. So finding that point of tension, not pain, just maybe discomfort, breathing there. Using breath as a way to unravel, to loosen, to release. The fingertips come to the floor, slowly straighten your legs, bring your hands to knees, and come all the way back up. Mountain pose. Good. Shoulders roll onto your back, palms turn forward. Let's move into the shoulders. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Fingers come behind you. So either here, fingers pointing, or interlaced. Let's do that a couple more times, reaching high and coming back. Opening the chest, lift the sternum, lift the collarbones. We all need a little bit of this. Let's go one more time. And then pausing here in this chest expansion to find that point of tension or tightness. 3 breaths. It shouldn't be too hard to find here. And as you exhale that 3rd breath, keep the arms behind you, bend your knees, hinge from the hips, let the knuckles lift high, head drop low. And you can bend your knees a lot here. Explore a little tiny movement of shoulders back and forth. And find a place here where you can stay for 3 breaths. Notice the point expanding and softening. Imagine untying a tight knot in this one spot. And release your fingers slowly to the earth. Just rest here for a moment. You'll probably notice your fingers tingling. Blood flow rushing back into your hands, prana, energy in your body. Let your hands come to the shin bones, lift halfway, take a deep breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shift forward into plank pose and back into downward facing dog a few times. So you're probably figuring out the patterns here today. We're moving and then we're holding. We're moving and we're holding. We're moving and holding. So as we come into plank pose, this is going to be a different kind of tension, right? This is working tension. Your knees can be up or down. Find 3 breaths. Sending breath to a place in your body where you feel tension, struggle, tightness. And let the exhale soften the struggle a bit. And then dropping the knees to the mat. Shifting the elbow crease forward, let's lower down halfway, and we'll do just a couple of these yogi push-ups. Familiar to everyone. And you probably know what's next, coming into this kneeling chaturanga, 3 breaths. Ooh, heat. 3 breaths. On your 3rd exhale, lower to the earth. Maybe you noticed you were breathing a little faster there, like I was. Release your wrists a little bit and then come into Cobra. Inhale, lower down, exhale. So movement first, and then we hold. Finding your expression of Cobra. So hands are really light on the earth, elbows in. 3 breaths into where you feel this the most. Probably somewhere in your back. As you exhale, lift your belly button off the floor. Let that drive you up into downward facing dog. Once again, pedal your heels. Take a look forward, step or hop your feet to the top of your mat, lifting halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Pause here to feel something in your body. Send it breath. And then bending the knees, inhale, arms overhead, extended mountain, a little back bend, front body open. Good. Exhale, bend your knees, sweep your arms behind you, airplane arms. So there are 2 movements. Inhale, extended mountain, back bend. Exhale, sweep back, airplane arms, low chair. Find a flow with your breath. This next time down into low chair with arms behind, pause, shoulders hug onto your back. You can stay flat-footed, or if you'd like challenge, come up onto your toes. We're here for 3 breaths. Softening something with the exhale. If your heels are up, release them down. Hands to the floor, straighten the legs. Step back again, downward facing dog. If you'd like, you can take a vinyasa, or you can stay right here with a deep breath in and out. And then on your next inhale, raise the right leg. Feel your right glutes lifting that leg. Exhale, draw the knee toward the chin. I'm going to do that 3 times. Inhale to lift the leg. Exhale, tucking the knee in. And as you get here, let your foot settle to the floor. Good, you guys. Drop your back heel, rise up, warrior 1. Let's take a moment to find your expression of the warrior 1. So right foot firm, left toes slightly turned out, pushing into the outer edge of the back foot. The hips are probably not exactly square. They're probably a little bit on an angle. Arms up or down, your choice. 3 breaths here into a place in you that feels tight, restricted. Use your breath to soften. On the 3rd exhale, arms come behind, and once again, either fingers pointing to each other or interlace. Chest expands. Come down into humble warrior. Head low, knuckles high. If this hurts your back, just lay on your right leg. But if it doesn't, I'd like you to try to kind of hang inside the leg using your core. 3 breaths here. Where do you notice tightness, tension? Where can you release with breath? And as we release that, let's reach back up into Warrior One. Arms come back as far as your body will allow. Exhale, hands to mat, downward facing dog. Your option to stay here or flow through vinyasa. And for those of you that are newer to this, vinyasa is 4 breaths, 4 poses: plank, chaturanga, cobra or up dog, and then back to down dog. We call that vinyasa, those 4 poses. When you're ready, raise your left leg high. Feel your left glutes lifting that leg up and back. Exhale, knee to chin. Big breaths. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck. One more time, reach. And tuck. Set the foot down at the top of your mat. Good, you guys, drop your back heel, Warrior One. Here we are, second side. Wiggle around until you feel your footing, your firm footing. Oh, that's really good. Shoulders relaxed, arms back a little. 3 breaths here. Is the point of tightness different on this side? After 3 breaths, arms reach back. This is a great place to grab a strap if your hands don't easily grab. And then dive in, humility, humble warrior. Standing with strong legs, but willing to bow, to be humble. And 3 breaths into a point of tension here. Let's release the hands and roll ourselves back up. Warrior One, arms reach back. Find your full capacity here without pain. And then exhale, hands to mat, downward facing dog. Your choice, stay here or flow through vinyasa. Always an invitation, not an expectation. Just a way to keep heat in the body and work on upper body strength. Let's raise the right leg again. And this time we'll bend the knee and open the hip toward the right side. So you can wiggle your ankle, your toes. As you exhale, wind that knee around toward your left elbow. And then inhale, open again. This is a really big movement. Open the hip and cross. Go one more time. And then set that foot on the earth. Keeping the back toes tucked under, low lunge. Let's start to dive into our hips a bit more. We'll drop our back knee to the ground and flatten out that foot. If that hurts your knee, roll up your mat, grab a pad, and then let's come up a little higher, hands on knees. See how that feels to your back. Option to stay here or lift your arms. Move around a little bit and find your expression of kneeling lunge. And then take 3 breaths into one point. The inhale expands and the exhale softens. Intentional about deep breathing into the body. On the exhale, lower hands to mat. Tucking the back toes, lift the knee. And then once again, you can stay here or come up a little higher to standing. Arms down or up, your choice. High lunge. Wiggle around a little bit here. And then wherever you have found your legs, keep them, hands to heart center. Let's shift forward into a twist. So forward all the way, and then the left elbow to the right knee. You could also drop a hand if that feels better in your body. But we're gonna hold this twist for 3 breaths. Find the spot. Releasing the fingers to the floor. Step your back foot closer to your front foot in a pyramid stance. So in pyramid, if my feet were the hands of a clock, it would be 11 o'clock, about. So those left toes turn slightly out. If you'd like to use a block or something in front of you, you're welcome to. You guys, let's move with breath here. So the inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, fold the spine over the right leg. Do that 3 times. And as we exhale, let's hold this pose 3 deep breaths. Where do you feel tightness or tension in your body? Raising up to a flat back. If you do have something to put your left hand on, I would recommend that here. Bring your right hand to your sacrum. And we're going to do a really small twist today. We're just pulling our right shoulder blade onto our back and rolling it back down. Right shoulder comes up on top and it rolls back down. One more time, open and close. And then finding your expression of a twisting triangle. It could be here with your hand on your back, maybe hand on shoulder, maybe arm up. 3 full breaths. As we lower back down, let's start to walk to the wide edge of our mat and put some kind of movement in here. It might be a lunge from side to side. It might be bend and straighten. It might be lifting and lowering. Explore just this wide-legged position and how it feels in your body. This practice, we're exploring full body breathing, and it might seem weird to bring breath someplace besides your lungs. But consider that breath is filling all of the cells of our body. Every single time we take a breath in, oxygen goes, hopefully, to every single cell of the body. Turn towards your left foot and drop your back knee. Move around a little bit until you find your expression today of kneeling lunge, low or high or in between. A place where you can stay for 3 full breaths. So in this point of tension or tightness where you feel this pose, imagine breath bathing that place with fresh, oxygenated blood and carrying away tension, toxins, stored, stuck energy. Because that's really what's happening. Release hands to the ground if they're not there already. Tuck your back toes, low lunge. And then choose either here, medium, or high, finding a lunge on your back toes. And then when you're ready, we'll move to our twist. So hands to heart, shift forward and hook right elbow to left knee. Maybe a hand on the floor, maybe an arm up. What feels best in your body right here? 3 full breaths. When you have released that 3rd breath, let your hands come down to the mat. Come again into that wide straddle. And this time, once you wiggle around a little bit, find a place where you can stay for 5 full breaths. A pose of stillness. Moving breath into the places that feel a little restricted. Maybe what feels restricted is a heart, a stomach, a head. Maybe it's not always muscles. Where would you like to move new energy? Bringing the hands back under the shoulders. Lift up into a flat back. With the right hand underneath the face, lift your left arm. Breathe in. Exhale to switch. Move back and forth with our breath. Slow, inquisitive movement. And as you twist to the right, pause in this pose. 5 full, slow breaths. When you've completed your 5, just slowly switch. 5 breaths, twisting to the left. Our last standing posture. When you've finished 5 breaths, start to heel toe your feet together. You can turn toward the front of your mat if you'd like. And we're going to find ourselves down on our knees. Let's extend the left leg off the edge of the mat. So do this way. Left leg goes off the edge of the mat. It might be backwards. Let me switch so you can mirror me. All right. And then the left arm lifts high. And we're going to thread the needle with that leg extended out. So come down onto your left shoulder, maybe your left ear. Breathe here. Find a point to pull 3 deep breaths into. Coming back to center, bring yourself all the way up to stand on that right knee, arms open in a T. Inhale toward the straight leg. Nice big side body stretch. Good, everybody. Exhale, windmill the hands over, all the way over the ear, stretch. Left side body long. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach over. And lift. And over. Good. Let that hand come down to the floor. Switch your knees. You're kneeling on the left side, extending through the right. Beautiful. Hands down on the floor. The right arm comes up and through. Thread the needle. Really awesome stretch for the back of your shoulder. Where do you feel this stretch, this pose? And where can you send breath? Breath expands and then softens. Coming back up to stand on this left knee, arms open wide, and we'll flow 3 times. Side gate pose. Up and over, big exhale. Just keep finding spaces. You are a scientist, and your body is the laboratory. You're looking for clues here. You're looking for something that got stuck, that's impeding the flow of energy in your body. Reach, breathe right here, up and over. Let out a long exhale. Nice, and return that hand around. Bring your knees together, sweep your legs around to find a seat. Awesome, you guys. Legs out in front, clear the flesh. Let's take a deep breath in. Just 1 exhale, arms over the legs. Deep breath in, arms come up. Bring your fingertips behind you, point your fingers in and open up your chest. And point your toes. Stay right here or lift your hips off the ground. And we're here for 3 breaths. So wherever you find stretch, tightness, breathe there. If your hips are up, let them come to the ground. Grab the backs of your knees, roll yourself down onto your back and draw your knees toward your body. Let your knees come in and out a few times. A little massage for the low belly as the thighs press. Try one at a time, one knee a little closer, one knee going away. Just moving that femur bone closer to you and then farther away. Little massage of our low belly. And then knees together, extend your legs up, come into waterfall. Hands on the ground, you might even rest your hips on your hands. And close your eyes here, friends. I'd like you to take 10 slow breaths. And maybe now there's not one point in your body to send the breath to. Just let your whole body breathe. Inversion, reverse of circulation. Noticing your jaw starting to soften, your face, your head, your neck. And then we'll bend our knees, move your hands, place your feet on the earth, and begin to extend your body out into Shavasana. See about taking your feet a little wider, maybe close to the edges of your mat, and arms extending out to the sides a bit more. For this Shavasana, I'm going to guide you through a Yoga Nidra, which is a guided relaxation, just helping you stay calm and rested, but also present and focused on your body. So I'd like you to imagine drawing a line, and this line starts inside of your right knee. Feel the inside of your right knee, and draw a line down to the inside of your right ankle. Feel the bottom of your right foot. Trace the arch of your right foot underneath your toes. Feel the top of your right foot. Feel the outside of your right ankle. Tracing the line up, feel the outside of your right knee, the outside of your right thigh, and your right outer hip. Feel the right side of your waist, your right ribs, right armpit, the inside of your right upper arm, the inside of your right elbow. Feel the inside of your right forearm. Trace around all 5 of your right fingers and around the outside of your right forearm, outside of your right elbow, the outside of your right upper arm, right shoulder, the right side of your neck, right ear, up across the crown of your head. Feel the tip, the crown of your head. And the line comes around to the left ear, left side of your neck, left shoulder, the outside of your left upper arm, outside of left elbow, outside of left forearm. Trace around your thumb and all of your fingers. And come to the inside of your left wrist, inside of left forearm, elbow, inside of your upper arm, armpit, and left ribs. Trace the left waist, left hip, left outer thigh, the left outer knee, the outside of your left lower leg, the outside of your left ankle, the top of your left foot, around your toes. Feel the arch of your left foot, the heel of your left foot, the inner left ankle, the inner left lower leg, and the left inner knee. And trace the line up to your hips and feel your hips resting here on the earth. Feel the whole back of your body resting here on Mother Earth, held, supported, nourished. Take in another full body breath, filling every single cell of your body. And as you exhale, feel a softening, a release for your whole body. Begin to now gently move any part of your body you like. The head, hands, knees, feet. Where would you like to feel movement? And let that lead to more movement, just slow transition. And you can bring yourself back to seated in any way you like. It might just be rolling to the side or rocking up, but gentle way, find a seat. As we come back to this seat, friends, would you join me in just bringing our hands together in front of our heart in this gesture of gratitude? Hopefully in a body that's a little more unraveled. Take another moment to feel some gratitude for the ground on which we stand, for all who came before us and allowed us to be right here. And perhaps more importantly, for all who will come here after us. Bowing our heads, honoring ourselves and each other. Namaste.